It's easy. It's really easy. It's just getting used to manipulating BeamNG. It's looking at code and knowing what's important and what's completely not important.
Right,
And
right.
also on the console as well, there's a lot of unimportant stuff, and it could be just one line that's really important you're looking for, and it takes ages sometimes.
Yes.
That's only if you get errors though, and hopefully we're going to be teaching in ways that will prevent that. Basically, the vehicles and the mods folder, and also the levels folder, which doesn't exist yet because you haven't saved anything.
Right.
They're extensions of the same folders that are in the main game directory, where you can find all the vanilla vehicles and levels. So anything you put in these folders will be essentially translated into those folders.
Okay.
Anything you put in these folders that are the same as what's in those folders will be overwritten by these. The
Okay.
documents folders take priority.
All right, cool. So BeamNG, as far as those particular folders, reads these folders, well, in a weird sort of way, last. But like you said,
They
these
read them
folders,
last, which makes them the ones that work.
yes.
Will overwrite anything that's the same. So if you do any modifications to any vanilla stuff and you've saved it here, it will take priority over the game directory's standard folders. Repository, such a great. So if you click mods on the top left, that's everything on the website, and this is everything you have installed or you've subscribed to. So anything you subscribe to will always update. If anyone doesn't know, if it's been updated on the website, every time you log in, it will. That's why it's so much better for modders now. They can get so many more downloads on the account, which makes it all look very nice.
Right.
Some mods don't get the appreciation they deserve. I'm not talking about my stuff, but I'm talking about a lot of stuff. Anyway, so from here you can see what's working, what's not working, and what's unpacked and what's not unpacked. So for instance, if you have something like, for instance, any of my mods where you've got about extra 40 scenarios on your list and you're like, I really wish these weren't here because I'm not using them right now, you can come here, find the mod in your mods list. So we got anyone will do, but yeah, say Avalanche Climb. You click that.
And then I'm clicking. Okay, click that. Okay.
Yeah, and then it will bring up all the details and all the description. And on the right hand side, you'll see 3 buttons. You can unsubscribe, you can unpack, and you can deactivate. So if you just don't want them in your scenarios list because you're not using them, you can just click deactivate, and it will keep everything exactly where it is. There's no installation. It will just stop them from being visible. The game will stop reading them, which can be really handy when you're modding and I'm scrolling through God knows how many to try and find. Mind you, I have started using the search function in the scenarios list, which is very useful.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah. So more to the point, the unpack button, if you like to click that. Okay. So when that's finished, you can close BeamNG. Well, that's done.
Okay.
I'll show you, if you, close BeamNG and then go back to your My Documents folder. Yeah. Now go into mods.
Okay.
See all of these here. These are all mods you've downloaded.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all zip files. They're all packaged, compressed, one file bangers, basically. You can't do any modding with that because it's a compressed file and you can't access the files unless you play them through the game. So even if you modified them and saved, you still wouldn't be able to apply those files you'd saved to the mod to make them permanent.
Oh.
So if you go to Unpacked, which is where all of the, as you would imagine, unpacked mods will end up.
Sure.
You'll find the Avalanche mod we just unpacked. So now if you double click that, as it's just a folder, not a zip file, these are all the files that make up the mod. So because this mod has a map that was also contained, it contains the map with the scenarios with it. The vehicles will contain all of the dummy cars, so that all the raining cars will have less parts on them. But they are just part config, so there's no extra content there. It's just telling the game how to dress the vehicles. So if you go into levels, and this will again be an extension of the levels folder in the main game directory once the game has read the mod.
Okay.
So that's the level name, very critical. Will contain, this mod could contain more than one level, so you would stack them all there in the levels folder as the game does in its main directory. Yeah, here is
Oh,
all
okay. Okay.
the data for the map, the terrain files, scenarios folder, everything there that makes up my mod. If you then go back to the mods folder
Okay.
and open up my HighDef chase pack scenario zip, double click on it just to open it.
Okay.
I need to actually decompress it. And if you look in the levels folder for this, you'll see there's all the levels that have my scenarios in them. And if you click on any one of them, or double click, I mean, yeah, you'll see that all it contains are prefabs and the scenarios folder.
Okay.
So it doesn't contain any level data because I've not changed anything with the level data. What the game will do when it loads this mod is it will merge these files with the map that I've made it on. So this is Utah. So it will load Utah, but it will also load that folder with all this stuff that I've added to it.
Oh, okay.
So it's essentially, you're basically extending on the content by making stuff at their levels like this.
Okay.
So yeah, it's basically just knowing which files you need and knowing that you only need what is there from your work. You don't need to worry about putting all the rest of the map in or anything like that. So yeah, to make a level, you can't just go into the game and say new level. You have to lay down the foundations for the level. It has to have the artwork, well, the art folder that contains all your textures, models, and items and data about the sun. And that's if you are making. I mean, some levels you could make something really bizarre that's nothing like a normal level, but try and keep it close to the point. So we have to start a level, we have to start off by making the file structure for it, so that the game has a basis to go from. So what we're going to do is we're going to use BeamNG's grid map with the items, and we're going to basically clone it. And then once we've cloned it, we're going to strip everything grid map related out and leave just all of the assets that were used to create, so that we have all those tools and things to play with and add and build with.
Okay.
So pretty much the most common way of starting a level. I mean, you can get programmers out there that will just write the code for a level and then they'll just load it.
Right.
Yeah, I've spoken to some people years ago on the forums that were just way out there, but I expect they have very busy lives and haven't got time for modding.
That's right.
Probably like programmers for the Ministry of Defense or something.
There you go. That's right. So, right. Do you want me to launch BeamNG with the grid map? No.
No. Right.
Okay.
We need to extrapolate it. So if you go to the BeamNG Drive game directory,
okay,
you'll see here it's got the content folder, and this is the folder that basically is mimicked by the My Documents BeamNG folder. You see the levels and vehicles folder there.
Yes.
They are as they are in the Documents folder, but the Documents folder adds to these basically after these are loaded.
Okay.
I'll make that point over and over because it's just something that is really handy to understand about manipulating this game.
Sure.
So, right, so we need grid maps. If you go into the levels folder and then open up grid map. Yes, grid map.
Now, do I need to extract it, or am I just opening up here?
If you double click.
Okay.
See if it is in. Yeah, right. Drag that folder into the BeamNG Drive Documents shortcut. It will make your levels folder with a copy of grid map in it. So no matter what we do to this map now, it will always load grid map as this map, because it's all named the same. All the files basically will be loaded on top of the standard grid map. But obviously we don't want that. We want our own level.
Right.
We want it to be completely unique and standalone and load with a nice thumbnail and all the description and yada yada yada.
Right, exactly. So real quickly, I went from the Steam Apps content levels grid map zip file after I copied that over. Then I clicked back on the shortcut for my BeamNG documents folder, and now I have the levels folder that we just put in there. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
At any time, if you were playing with the editor and you press Control Save, then the game would have generated that folder as well and put anything that you'd changed in there. But yeah,
I did not
you hadn't
realize
used
that.
you
Okay.
hadn't used anything that would caused it to need that folder, so it wouldn't be there. The same with the vehicles folder. I mean, that doesn't come there to begin with either. And this, I think, saves as well. I think that's there, and screenshots might be there. But anyway, yeah, the levels and vehicles folder, they get generated when they're needed, basically, when you've started doing something.
Okay, that's cool. That makes sense.
So from here, the game will load it from this folder, and it will always take priority. So yeah, covered that. So right, if you open the levels folder,
Okay.
see it's grid map, and if you open that, so you've got everything that's in grid map.
Lots of
Line,
stuff.
quick races, scenarios, everything.
Wow.
So we literally need a very small percentage of the amount of files here.
Oh, okay.
So all we're really interested in is the files that tell you what the level is and description and everything about it, and we need the art folder, which contains all the assets and everything you can add to your level.
Okay.
So we're going to delete a load of things. So if you control click
Mm-hmm.
following, we go bus lines, forest, quick race, scenarios, all of those prefabs.
Okay.
Grid map terrain. The other terrain on below these PNGs.
Okay.
Yeah, and all the spawn JPEGs and the last prefab.
Okay.
Delete. Okay, much better. Right, so now we've got rid of all the gumph, but it's all still named grid map.
Right.
This is a good time to mention our sponsor, Notepad++. No, it's not a sponsor, but this is a little app that you will need if you are doing any BeamNG stuff. Right, so we'll start by renaming those 4 files from grid map. If you click once and then click again.
Okay.
And then copy out the grid map bit or delete the grid map bit. And then what should we call it? We'll just call it test. Is that really unimaginative?
How about
a name, David? You can do it.
Yeah, we'll do Davidinark. So does capitalization matter?
No.
Okay.
I would avoid it just in case. Okay, then press Control Shift and left keyboard arrow.
I'm sorry. Control Shift left.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then press Control C.
Oh yeah.
And then do And then speed this thing up. Yeah, it's fiddly, isn't it? I need a bigger screen myself. I'm not sure actually what size screen yours is. I'm still looking at my screen.
I've got I have a 24-inch, which is
the same as mine. Yeah.
A much better size than I used to have, and B, the largest that'll fit in my current desk. So.
Oh really? I got a nice 120 hertz screen.
I don't know. I think mine's like like that 144 or something. Yeah, 144.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, yeah. I got it on sale, so it was very nice. That's always a plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so we have renamed our files, but there are probably about 1,000 or so entries within these files that still say grid map.
Sure.
And the reason we need Notepad++ is because that can change them all with one click.
Okay.
And you don't have to go into every single file and look like you would with normal Notepad.
Wow.
That would not be worth modding in BeamNG for.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you right click, or actually, yeah, the JSON files will always be useful to be opened with Notepad. So if you go open with, and then always open with Notepad++.
Notepad++. Oops.
Well,
I told it to always open with. Was I supposed to?
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Okay. Whew.
Okay,
All right.
So this is the level JSON. This is basically telling you the base stuff that it needs, like what kind of materials for the ground model, where the level thumbnail is located, and I'm not sure what.
Okay.
Okay, so if you go to search, top, and then find in files. Now you want to find grid map with capital M and G, and you want to replace it with Davidinark. And you want to click where directory is at the end. There's the 3-button box. You click that, and then go to libraries, documents, and G, and then levels. Oh, grid map. We haven't renamed the folder yet, but we can do that in a moment. If you click the grid map folder, which is what we're working with at the moment, click OK.
All right.
Now we're telling it to search for every file inside that folder, which is the one we got in the background here, and find any entry in any file, text file that has the grid map, and replace it with that name. That means that when the game loads the level, it will see, oh, this level is called Davidinark, and oh yes, all these files are telling me that this item here is for this map, this item there is for this map. We can use them all, and I'm not going to give any annoying, basically. So now, if you click replace in files,
this was worth the tutorial right here. I've never played with Notepad++. This is worth the price of admission right here. Oh, where's this been all of my life?
Exactly what I thought when I came across it.
Holy cow! Okay, so replace in files.
I spent a lot of time in the past using normal Notepad to do very tedious things to get what I wanted.
Oh yes, this is wow. Okay. Oh, that's worth it right there, man. That is phenomenal. Okay.
Is awesome. Look at that, 1,100.
Wow.
That's how many you've had to go through.
Okay.
So now that has changed everything in relation to word grid map, which is very important for all the file names. But there's still the info JSON, which is in our levels folder behind. Never worry about closing Notepad++. Always just leave it open. You can save on the fly very easily.
Oh, okay.
I know you can with anything, but yeah, if you open the info JSON, this file is pretty much with any level. This is the file that tells the main menu what to display in relation to when you select it and what kind of spawn points you can have. You can put the spawn points into the level, and you can put the images into the level, but they will not show up on the main menu unless they are registered here. As you can see, there's 4 grid map start locations here. We don't need any of that right now, but also these the rest of these entries, like title, description, preview, that's what you read, excuse me, when you're on the main menu. That's your first point of reference to the mod, to the content. So at the moment, the way these are, that's code, levels.davidinark, I would say gridmap.info.tile. That's code to summon code from the core engine. We don't want that. At the moment, if we try this, it will just say levels.davidinark.
Right. Okay.
So we need to literally just remove everything apart from Davidinark, and then have that, and you can write a small description.
Okay.
You could even delete the entries you don't want to have displayed.
So this title, though, can say literally anything, right?
Yeah, there's no code involved between those commas.
And then description.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah, we all will, I'm sure. Okay. Anything else I'm supposed to do here other than those two?
It's not very important, but you don't need to do all those. But it would just be explained enough of that, so it doesn't matter. It's not important.
Okay.
So because we are not using any spawn point stuff, we're going to delete literally everything apart from the authors. To my opinion on the authors thing is, if I'm using BeamNG assets, I always put them in last on the authors, because they were the ones technically that made that.
Gotcha.
Those assets. So.
Yeah. And is that how that works, or do I need to separate them by comments, or how does that?
That will come up on the main menu.
Okay.
But yeah, just generally, I always sign it with me and them, just so out of respect.
Sure, absolutely.
If I had to make my own assets, then I would not be BeamNG modding.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, if it looks right, it's probably right.
All right. Yep. Yeah. That's exactly.
I love that saying.
It's a very good. That's a very good life lesson right there.
Yeah. I go quite often.
That's all right.
So we need to get rid of all the data that is specifying anything about spawn points. If we don't say anything about it, it will just use our main only spawn point, and it will just work as normal. It's only when you start wanting multiple that you then have to declare, I want the default spawn point to be this one, and then I want all the other spawn points to be blah 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 with these pictures. So we can delete all of that
okay.
from line 10 all the way to line 32. Need it completely deleted so the authors meets up with features. Yeah, all of line 10 as well.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, any spawn point data. So yeah, there we go. Now that will load and not be like, oh, where's all the other spawn points then? Oh, I'll give you an error for that. Right, so okay, so save is at the top there under edit, but the file, the one next to it is save all files. So if you've modified a load of these tabs, you can just click that and it will save the lot. I use that all the time. I use that only just in case I've forgotten.
Sure.
Saved.
Yeah, works for me.
Obviously, if you're experimenting with things and you're not sure if they're going to work or not, try to be careful not to save over stuff that does work. I've done that a couple of times.
Yes, exactly. Hours of work gone.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Right, if you go into your BeamNG Drive documents folder, levels folder, and we need to rename the grid map folder.
Oh yeah.
To Davidinark as well, exactly the same way it's spelled. And right, so if you launch BeamNG, and then we'll just see if it's loaded and if we get any errors.